toss it up again. Keyshawn Murphy, Van Allen Lubin. Lubin, the North Carolina transfer, wins the tip. And the Wolfpack has the first possession on the road.
Trey was able to get his hand away in enough time.
Copeland. Wadir Copeland off the back iron and good.
Tremendous fit for North Carolina State when you consider the fact that, this is a man who has tremendous ties on the East Coast as well as grew up in the ACC.
Wadir Copeland coming off a career-high 28 down in Maui. Spins, gets the bump, fades and scores his second bucket.
And this one defensively for the Wolfpack, not picking him up early.
Keyshawn Hall, leading scorer for Auburn, with a great drop-off. That is Philip Jovic, the freshman from Bosnia and Herzegovina, short on a three, and Kevin Overton, the offensive rebound. Auburn team that has one of the best offenses in the country. And they get a bucket from deep.
The careless turnover, the last possession by Keyshawn Hall. Matt Abel standing right in the way, and it turns into points off turnovers. Wadir Copeland knocking down the three ball.
As animated a player as you'll find in the ACC, Copeland, who is back in the league after 2 years in Syracuse. Pettifer finishes through the contact.
Pettifer, who's playing a completely different role this season than he did a year ago in a Final Four team, attacking the basket.
Guards on the floor. This is Van Allen Lubin from North Carolina. Lubin ducks underneath Jovic. A couple of lefties for this Tiger team, which went to the Final Four a year ago. Bedford into Williams-Adams, the freshman, feeds it to Hall, who hits for three.
Because Bruce Pearl told him he wanted to expand his game, wants to be a 50-40-90 guy.
Bedford with a block shot against Abel. The 6'1 sophomore springs the break for Williams-Adams. This is a rainbow three, rebound to Hall. Thought about passing it to Jovic. Hall will take it himself instead. Already the jungle at full roar as McNeil rims out a three. Offensive rebound, Arsenault, and another swat.
And Tahad Pettiford showing off his bounce. As you mentioned, 2 block shots in the last minute of play. And, of course, Jimmy V was the type of person that owned the room when he walked in. And again, it was such an honor to be able to be recruited by, as you talk about, importantly, his personality. And he was the personality of college basketball when you think about watching the speech earlier today.
You can find it online. It's worth your time every day. The message from Jim Valvano. As Overton hits a three, Auburn off to a great start. The rest of the Wolfpack, tough shooting start. Auburn on an 11-0 run. Chance to extend it. Murphy for three. This is a little runner. Auburn shooting at 9 for 14, and a pull-up will go from the freshman Caden Magwood. 6'6".
But the difference in this year's challenge in comparison to last year's challenge, so many close games. You see the overtime game between LSU, Boston College, and having his teammates allowed to make plays for him in comparison to him having to be the primary playmaker at all times.
Bedford and Auburn 9 for 10 since a slow start. That three is good. Williams, who loves the transition triple. Williams again, kicks for Copeland. His second three will go and cut the lead to 4.
And older guys. Now he's playing on a team that is younger and less experienced, and they're all looking to Tahad as the leader as Matt Abel knocks down the three in the corner.
This game has run ragged over the last few possessions. Williams.
Good pass.
Copeland. Again, Williams sets up Copeland, and Auburn takes time. Go card. It's a game of runs, Corey, and it's a 13-0 run right now.
But when you consider the Wolfpack taking advantage of the turnovers, the Auburn Tigers coming into this game averaged 9.1 turnovers per game.
Auburn by 1. This game has slowed down offensively, and Overton looks to reignite it with a three.
I believe he's okay.
McNeil. Copeland gets around Overton, got the little seal there from Sonia, and he's to Matt Abel there. 12 Auburn turnovers. McNeil inside Hall. Pettiford came over to help again, and there's a tie-up underneath.
Watch Tahad Pettiford coming in with the block once again, climbing the ladder, showing off that 42-inch belt.
Remember, the second half against St. John's, he went nuts for 18 offensively after a slow start. Oh, here's Freeman.
Offense. As Freeman goes through the paint and finishes with a highlight level slam. And you would expect for that to build some momentum, but it's a turnover on the next possession, which stalls the offensive progression for
Auburn leads by 6 and turns it over again. Holloman had the steal, up to McNeil, who finishes. Overton with 11, Hall with 10 for the Tigers, who are leading because of their brilliant shooting. And there's Hall slithering inside for 4 from the field. He did block 4 shots. Hall misses a 3. Rebound, Freeman.
And that's Auburn's game.
Holloman bricks a 3. Copeland crashed late, and it's a 2-on-2 for Overton. Inside, draws the contact, and the foul against Holloman.
As Holloman tries to get back in the front, you're only going to add insult to injury if you make that contact.
Inside, Copeland gets a touch against Pettiford. Out for Holloman again, and he buries a 3 this time. His 4th, but it's 14 on Auburn.
Forgive me, 4th turnover for Tahad, and you're looking at Stephen Pearl saying, why?
Bounds and throws it to McNeil. And again, Auburn gets back in transition, except for Copeland, who stuffs in another 2.
No one stopping the basketball as Quadir Copeland gets. That's what the scouting report said throughout this game.
Williams against Hall. One leading scorer fades away and puts it in over another. He felt like this was the right move. NC State felt like it was the right move, Corey, to push their program to the next level.
You know, and the comment, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, is Quadir Copeland is able to, that they have in Raleigh.
There's a great piece in the Athletic to detail that. Will Wade said, hey, I told him, you guys are my best chance and I'm your best chance. So let's see if it works. Non-conference win on the road. This would hold up all year long. Lubin finds the back-cutting Holloman. Couldn't finish. Williams does, and he's into double figures. 3 lefties on the perimeter for Auburn. Williams, Adams, and Jovic. Overton takes a deep 3, and it is his night.
Kevin Overton, when things are going your way, you continue to keep it going.
Holloman against Hall. Kick, Abel. Tough shooting night for him. Holloman, another 3, and Trey Holloman makes it a 2-point game.
Trey Holloman stepping up, knocking down the big 3. He hasn't had a huge offensive night, but one of the 4 starters in a double figures. But that will drive Will Wade crazy.
Calling for a screen. Now he'll get into the switch on Lubin. Find Jovic with the mismatch, and a beautiful feed for the dunk for Hall. Auburn 75% in the half. Great skip pass. Hall for 3. It's got really quiet. A building that has been roaring from the opening tip. Another sellout. Hall for 3. Yes, sir.
Stephen Pearl wasn't a huge fan of that shot, even though it's a heat check.
Holloman has gotten hot in the second half.
In front of a guy that's good as Trey Holloman.
Into Hall in the corner. Oh my! This 3.
2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Keyshawn Hall, great recognition. Turning over that right shoulder, the lefty delivering a big bucket out of the corner right in front of the other keeper, who was amazed at his namesake's effort.
McNeil got it.
In this game, they have been operating at full efficiency on the offensive end.
Overton, jab step, got it for 3!
But go for the jab.
A new career high for Overton. He's got 26. Holloman answers with a 3 by 9, 7 to go. Lubin with a rare bucket, just his 2nd of the game. The lead is down on the Auburn sideline. McNeil just missed a good look. Would have made it a 4-point game. Now Hall looking to face up McNeil. Driving. Hall finishes.
Every possession matters so much at this point. You can't make mistakes like that down the stretch.
Overton launches. Overton! Deluge from Kevin Overton, whose season high had been 13. Lubin eventually. Hall in the corner. He'll fire it. He'll hit it. Everybody's hitting it. Pettiford's three ends up in the hands of Holloman. Packed down 12, 2:25. Abel around Jovic. There's a nice strong drive.
Well, there's a lot of time remaining.
Remember, NC State is the fourth best three-point shooting team in Division I, and they could get a hard three here on the strong drive. Well, what a performance by Keyshawn Hall, 28 and 10, but he wasn't even the leading scorer. Kevin Overton, a career-high 29. And the Auburn Tigers take down NC State 83-73. Overton and his former Texas Tech teammate Williams exchange a hug and a smile as Auburn wins a 65 straight home game against an non-conference team.
And you go back to opening night. This was an Auburn team that went to overtime with Bethune-Cookman. Look at the improvement as to what has happened with these Tigers here over just a month in the season play.